Drea Humphrey here with Rebel News, standing inside of the Victoria Conference Centre, a very inclusive place. It has pride flags all over, but that hasn't stopped the radical trans activists from protesting a conference that's taking place inside. Why? I don't know. In fact, I tried to go out and ask, and here's a little taste of why I couldn't get much answers.
You're making money off of marginalized people, and you're black.
What are you guys protesting today?
You.
Why?
Because you're down.
Because what? I can't. Speaking of propaganda, I was on the list of top 5 dangerous speakers. What's an example of something I've done that's dangerous?
I already told you.
Can anybody tell me how I'm dangerous? My name's Drea Humphrey. I don't know if you can hear me with this child over here. Now, before I show you a little more of what just happened, let me explain why I'm here. There is a nonpartisan group. It's a nonprofit organization called We Unify, and for the 3rd year in a row is putting on a conference called Reclaiming Canada. This year's topic is about censorship and disinformation. And this rally, which has started and was put on by a group called 1 Million Voices for Inclusion, although they're all so exclusive, has been spreading disinformation in order to censor the conference.
We of 1 Million Voices for Inclusion demand the City of Victoria reconsider its decision to allow the upcoming We Unify conference at the Victoria Conference Centre. Its speaker lineup is an affront to the LGBTQ plus community, with several flagged for hate speech, suspended from social media, even barred from entering countries. 2 of them promote conversion therapies for homosexuals and transgender people in defiance of the criminal codes and the BC Prosecution Service's definitions of hate crime.
One of their speakers has done many documentaries to debunk residential schools in Kamloops. How disheartening for our elders, for our ancestors who have not made it home.
The irony is certainly not lost. Now, I did a whole report that I will link in the written article in the description box below, which explains why everything they've made up, the fake hate that they're crying, is nonsense. But what you should know for this right now is that the city, Victoria, which runs this center, did stand their ground to a certain extent. They reminded the activists that there's something called constitutional freedoms. That means people have the right to peacefully gather, including their top 5 most dangerous list of speakers, which includes yours truly. They have Pastor Artur Pawlowski on the list. We have a whole website called saveartur.com in case you don't know who he is. He's one of many pastors who, shockingly in Canada, have been in prison, and street preachers, I should add, for following their religion. And I'm on the list there. I tried to go out and ask why, and here's some of what I saw. What are you guys protesting today?
You.
Why?
Because you're down.
Because what? I can't.
Why? This is for you. She's got it.
Oh, I think I've read this. How are you doing, Martin? Martin?
That's what he has to tell you today.
Okay, so what do you guys think about the city thinking you're so dangerous that you require more speakers?
Oh, you can't use that. It's got copyright material.
Thank you.
Not this time.
So what exactly are you protesting today?
What are we protesting? We're protesting the authoritarian propaganda that's being presented here.
Okay, speaking of propaganda, I was on the list of top 5 dangerous speakers. What's an example of something I've done that's dangerous?
I already told you.
Can anybody tell me how I'm dangerous? My name's Drea Humphrey. I don't know if you can hear me with this child over here. Drea Humphrey.
Where are you from?
Are you from here?
I'm Canadian.
Where are you from? Are you from Victoria? Were you born and raised here?
No, I'm a British Columbian. Okay.
from
Oh yeah.
Victoria.
So what are you
So
protesting?
why are you here?
I'm here.
in
I'm
my
one of
neighborhood?
I'm
Why
one of
are
the
you
speakers here.
Oh, really?
Should I go back to where I came from?
You sure you're not?
Should
you
I go
sure
back
you-
to where I came
you
from?
Sure, your name is not Karen?
What's your website? Why are you shaking?
Yeah.
You guys are
why?
intimidating. You're scary.
Oh,
Did
no,
you know
why
they
you
need
approach
more?
me?
They need
You
more
approach me.
security to
You
have
know
you guys
what?
here. What do
You know what? You
Trans
keep
kids are
asking.
dying.
Well, there's a high suicide rate in them.
Oh,
Is
so
that what
you're
you
not
mean?
informed. Okay.
I'm not
What's your
informed.
What's your website?
Oh, good, Julia, you're filming. Thank
What's
you.
your-
Okay, you guys are quite aggressive. Can you give a little bit of space?
Okay, stop walking
So my
towards
question
me.
is,
Stop
what
walking
are you
towards me.
protesting?
Questioning you.
Okay, it's right here.
Why are you doing
right
this?
here.
Why are you doing
Okay, so you're Martin. Can we have a conversation? I mean, you went to city council. You have a lot to say, right?
That's all I have to tell you.
Okay, thank you for this here. Why did I make the top 5 list? What have I ever done that is hateful, discriminatory?
It's written in there. That's all I have to
Yeah, I work for Rebel News. I am being paid.
Rebel News, a money-making
That's my job. No. Why am I on the top 5 speaker list of most dangerous? Just give one example. That's on that.
It's in the pamphlet.
It's not, though. I've read everything on your site. It said that I glorify likes, which isn't true, but if it was, how is that dangerous to your community?
Do you understand what we're talking about?
I don't. That's why I'm trying to find
Why
out.
don't you?
Because it makes no sense.
Why?
How is it dangerous to glorify likes?
How do you feel about Soji?
But that's what you guys said, right?
You're making money
That's what
off
you
of
said
us.
on my name under your
You're
set.
making money off of marginalized people, and you're black. That's
Oh, thanks for the
Weird.
observation. I'm black and Indigenous. Thank you very much. And
why
this
are you
is my
trying to make
job
money off of
to ask you questions.
marginalized people. Why do you want to make money?
I'm
off
a
of us?
journalist.
You're a journalist? No, you're not.
Oh, do you want to explain to me whom I am? You didn't even know where I work?
Why do you need to know that? You're making
So
money off
the
of
conference has to have
Queer people.
approximately, the city is saying $50,000 more in security because you guys are coming. How do you feel about
know
them
what you're
thinking
talking
you pose a danger to the people you're protesting?
Really?
Yes.
Seriously?
Oh, I'm serious.
Trying to make
You
money
said that.
off of
Excuse me.
transgenders.
Excuse me. Can I have some space? Can I have some space?
Off of the
Can I ask you
marginalized
about your
people.
sign? Can you
Why
back
are you trying
off?
to make money off of marginalized people?
Why are you such a bully? Just back up.
But why are you trying to make money off of
This
marginalized
is my job. I ask questions for a
people?
living.
Why do you have a job?
I'm trying to do my job. Could you give me some space?
You're trying to make money.
Apparently,
off of
bullying is
marginalized
here.
people, which is disgusting.
So for those of you, I'm trying to do my job. Is there something wrong? This is your job? Safe from what? What are you protecting right now?
Bigotry,
Okay, give an example of the bigotry.
hatred.
No, that's not an example.
here to
That's a
talk to
word.
you.
Okay, then can you
giving
give
you
me
an
some
interview.
space? But do you feel like a
Use it if I'm playing music?
do you feel like a big man though? Like
I
just
didn't even think about that.
do you believe in freedom of speech or journalists being able to do their job in Canada?
You're not a journalist. You're a hate monger.
Do I have a voice?
I'm not talking to you.
Okay, then back up. Back up. Okay. And so many bullies, so much actual hate going on here. That is why the Victoria Police have actually told the conference organizers that they need thousands more of security to protect from people like this who make up hate and then try to cancel things for it. So we'll see if we can find someone who can articulate why they're actually here. Now, as you see, the cry bullies do what they do. They try to make you go deaf. They try to keep their narrative alive that was parroted, by the way, by local media. But Julia, the one behind the camera with me today, well, she was out ahead of me while I was inside of the conference space, and she was able to get some answers before they knew she was with Rebel News. All right, now you got some answers out there. Tell us what I missed when I was in here doing work inside.
Well, most people were not interested at all in speaking to me regardless. I think they figured out that I wasn't quite with them. I had one lady who, she said that because she's straight and a female and white, she had all these privileges, and so she thought it was her duty to be at protests and to support the gay community because she has so many rights compared to them. But another guy really just told me, and I did get a good interview clip, I don't know how the audio is, but he was talking to me about how just because of the nature of what's being discussed at this conference, which has nothing to do, there's nothing on the website, to my knowledge, about the SOGI, about the LGBT, but he said just the nature of what's being discussed is inherently anti-trans people, anti-gay people, and everything else to do with that.
Let's take a look.
Yeah, we were just wondering, so this conference doesn't have anything to do with trans people or SOGI or anything like that, so we were just wondering what the intention of protesting here today was.
Okay, first off, I'm not convinced that the conference has nothing to do with queer rights.
Okay.
I looked over their website, I looked over a lot of their rhetoric and the information that they're going over, and it may not be immediately obvious to some that this sort of ideology represents a threat to queer people's well-being, but it's very much in line with a lot of the rhetoric that's been going around lately, around forcing people basically to not live as their most authentic self.
Now, the accusation that this event is an anti-trans or anti-gay thing, it's ludicrous. As we always point out, there are I can't even say it anymore, but you know what I'm saying. That community is represented inside as well. But you should see how they treated their own outside who is counter-protesting their demonstration. There is a gentleman out there from Gays Against Groomers. He believes that the gender ideology that is being pushed on schools is actually attacking gay kids. He believes that those children would grow up to be healthy, normal, gay people who have their body parts, and this is how he was treated at the protest. So I see that you have a Gays Against Groomers sign. Why was it important to be here today?
The Muslims want to stone away the gays. The Christians want to pray away the gays. The queers want to trans away the gays. It's always been an attack on gay kids. This is no different. I've fought them for 30 years. There'll be something new after this, transhumanism. This fad will go away, and there'll be a new one, and we'll fight that too.
So you believe that there is...
Love is love. Love is love.
So they're drowning out a gay individual's voice. What do you make of that introduction for the people who were outside?
Well, I have a hard time to deal with insanity, telling you the truth, because that accusation is absolutely insane. If you know what I do for a living, for the past 25 years I'm feeding people, including homosexuals. We have transgender people coming, men dressed as women, women dressed as men on a regular basis. Sometimes they come with their flags, but we still feed them because in the Bible, the wages of sin, any sin, it doesn't matter what kind of a sin, is the wages of sin is death. So I'm not the judge, I'm not the jury, I'm not the executioner. My job is to tell the people the truth, love them, and leave it in their hands to what they're going to do with that truth. And that conference, this conference is about that. That's exactly why we are here. We are here to present the truth.
At Rebel News, we don't back down from bringing you the other side of the story, even if that means there could be some violent counter-protesters trying to censor us from bringing out the truth. If you'd like to help keep our reporters safe, we have a special website called journalistdefensefund.com.